It's Brendan's podcast? Just put a pin in it. Important part.
Yeah.
No, there's like a group of people who like, they're like online. They like drink pee.
Well,
The show cold open.
Welcome to Cock Talk.
we're drinking pee today
Welcome to
with...
Cock Talk. I'm Brendan.
Welcome to Cock Talk. I'm Brendan, your lovely host, and today we're drinking pee with none other than Becky Shu from Illustration.
Brendan, do you have... I'm sorry, this is the last time I'm going to talk. Do you ever have anyone who's not from Illustration?
No, well, I have one person in mind, but I have to see if they're available.
Oh, wait, the brown person?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How many episodes have you done?
I don't know. I should. Why, 5?
Countless.
I think 5.
Yeah.
You should just like go down like the who's who board and like interview like every single person alphabetically.
In
Yeah.
Illustration, just
Yeah.
like, oh, here we go. But I'd have to do faculty too. Eventually, if I ever got there.
That's a slippery slope.
That is. That might be a slippery slope. Yeah. Oh, so what's this about? People drinking pee virtually, or?
I don't know. I'm not an expert.
I've heard of this before. People
No, it's
like,
a
do it
thing.
for their health.
Yeah, they
Oh,
do it
for the
because they
health.
think it's like cleansing and like healthy and good for you. But like,
Oh.
I don't like. Show me the facts. Right?
Show me the car facts.
Show me the science.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that like if you're in a survival situation on a deserted island, you can like distill your pee through evaporation to get excess water.
That's for survival.
I heard that if you're like in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
you like absolutely shouldn't drink your pee because it makes
Oh.
it like worse. I mean, like maybe you can like treat it somehow, but like
Yeah. Survival tips on Cock Talk. Yeah. So, away from urination, how has your day been?
it's been all right.
Yeah.
I just came back from a staff meeting
Woo!
at Car House.
Yeah.
Our
Is this
student one
sandwich
cafe.
drama?
There's always Car House drama. What sandwich drama are you talking about? This is Vienna.
Hi. People not melting cheese at Car House.
Oh, that's
Literally
yeah.
the fucking worst. You don't know how to make a sandwich, so like come back when you actually do.
Oh.
Basically people are petty about everything at Car House, and that's just how it be.
Okay.
That's how
And
it
we
is.
deserve to be petty because it's the hardest job on campus.
Yeah.
True though.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys take your food service skills seriously. Yeah.
Some of us.
Uh-oh. Some people. But most people.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Come to Car House, everyone.
Yeah.
And tip your baristas. We need it.
The customer's always right.
We're getting, yeah. Tip people in the service industry. Do it.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. Yeah.
Just the tip with
That's-
Car House.
My God, that's my
With
just the
Cock
tip.
Yeah, already you're on it.
Yeah, my just the tip. Just tip people in the service industry, if that is an industry. So, Becky, I heard some exciting news. You got into the Society of Illustrators
Oh yeah.
again.
Oh, you did?
News has been circulating, I guess. I don't talk about it,
Yeah.
but I did. I
Yeah.
have 2 pieces in this year.
Ooh.
Very shocking and exciting.
Yeah. How does it feel to be like a member? Wait, is it like you get a membership when you get a piece in? Or is
You
it?
get like a certificate, and then you like are in like the catalog. I mean, I don't
Ooh.
like. I don't know.
What were the pieces?
My piece, African Unicorn, and I think I called it If You Only Knew. One's an oil painting about Okapi, and the other one is a portrait of my parents done in pen and ink.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's exciting. I try not to like get too invested in this kind of thing because like I don't know, I feel kind of like like art competitions and like stuff like that in general.
Yeah.
Kind of a shot in the dark, kind of like random.
Yeah.
Very,
Not regimented.
yeah, like it's very like a shit shoot and like luck based. So like it is what it is. But yeah, I'm excited to go there and like see all the other work.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what who else in RISD got in. They usually publish like a list of everyone, but they haven't done it yet, and I think
Okay.
it's just because like our administration is like a little slow with that this year, but like it's totally fine.
Yeah. It'll be fun to go
Yeah,
and see.
yeah, it's always very fun.
Congratulations, though. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Thank you.
It's dope.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun to miss class for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Last year I missed class for it, and my professor got really salty, and I was like, "Leave me alone."
yeah.
I was
it-
like,
when
I
is it that
deserve
you
it.
go?
It's usually like last year I think it was just some random Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like whenever the gallery opens. I don't know anything. I can't answer that many questions about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
You went like this. That means you have a question.
Wait, with my hands?
Yeah. you
I
went
don't.
like
I can't really think of anything right now. How? I already asked how your classes have been, right?
this. No, not yet.
Oh no, I haven't.
Yeah, well we're in a class together.
Oh yeah, we are.
We're in a class together, which is
Yep.
like all I ever think about.
Yeah.
All my other classes are like irrelevant when it comes to my classes. But
Yep.
Brendan and I are in this like large woodcut class with this very notorious professor, and we have an ungodly, like, insane amount of homework due next week, and I am just.
We're all a little bit like wondering how it's going to get done, and we're all
It's
just
not
like,
going to. I mean, I am just finding solace in the fact that there will be camaraderie on Thursday
yeah,
of like everyone only having done like a fifth of what we were asked to do.
yeah,
It's okay though. I mean, as long as we catch up at the end of the day, right?
I will say though, it is nice to like have a class that's like dedicated to working rather than just critique. Not that critique isn't helpful, but I do find that some of the best classes are the ones where I can actually, sit
Yeah.
and work. Although I do know people who say that they feel the opposite. They'd rather work by themselves than like in a classroom with other people.
Yeah.
I think you need a balance. I certainly get stressed out when it's like all you do. If it's only if I need it, then that's good.
Yeah.
Like I was doing animation in class
Yeah.
like last week, and it was just kind of weird because I'm very used to doing it on my own time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like such a like technical class, and
think we
there's
kinda
so
need it.
many there's
Yeah.
so many like steps. It's so much like mostly manual labor and like craftsmanship at the end of the day, because he told us at the beginning of the semester that like our designs don't matter, even though like they also do, and that like the imagery isn't important. Like there's no prompts as far as that goes. So I think with like super technical classes like that, it's very like it's very helpful to just have work days, because that's the biggest struggle. Whereas in like a more conceptual class, like you probably want the feedback more than you care about like the medium or like what people are like physically doing on their work, because it's like not as pertinent.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it is nice though. I'm like, yeah. It's strange because it's like I am afraid of not getting all my work done, not because I think I'll get a bad critique per se or like get reamed in crit, because he doesn't actually get that mad. I don't know. I'm more scared of like
not making anything worthwhile.
just like being behind. I don't know. It's like more internalized, which is like kind of interesting and kind of nice. Or I don't know if it's nice, but like I think it's like more helpful for me in my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm like stressed out about like things that I view as my own responsibility versus like I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
No, it makes
But yeah.
sense. Yeah. I always do wonder like how other departments kind of like structure their time with working. Because one thing I noticed in illustration is that it's very like craft based sometimes.
Illustration.
Yeah. Versus like other majors, you may really only need the computer and only like work on the computer. Not that isn't a craft in and of itself, but it's like I think the process of making an image in illustration will take a bit longer than maybe someone else who doesn't have to like, I don't know, physically draw something, but I
Yeah.
could be wrong because if you're using a computer, you have to learn like all these shortcuts
Mhm.
and like
Well, I think like with illustration and especially RISD illustration, there's such a like broad range of
Yeah.
what people do, which I think is like probably what I pride myself most. It's like what
it's
like,
pride for
like,
us.
No, like the reason I'm like so proud of our department
Mhm.
and more specifically our department in the school is that like you go to our shows and there's like animation and textiles and sculpture and like
Mhm.
graphic design and it's like so and there's like furniture even like
Yeah.
there's such a large breadth and I think that is like very liberating in our department. Not I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's nice because it maybe like as like someone who's just looking at it, you can like find a place that you
Mhm.
might enjoy, or you get like
There are many little niches.
yeah.
And you can even just make a niche for yourself
Hmm.
at a certain point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I talk to a lot of both high schoolers and freshmen. Like I work as like teaching assistants.
Oh.
Or, like I TA for like RISD pre-college over the summer, and I also
yeah.
TA for foundation studies. And they're
Mhm.
always asking all these questions about departments and majors because they're stressed out and don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I always kind of like obviously I'm biased and like guilty of kind of pitching illustration to them sometimes, but
I feel like that. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm always like, if you're like on the fence between like painting or FAV or illustration or anything like that, like,
Uh huh.
and like if you're interested in doing all of them, I
Yeah.
feel like illustration tends to be like a really good option because, like, I don't know, I feel like the world is so open.
Yeah.
That's very romantic to say, but
Yeah.
I like even as a freshman, like I thought it was so cool that like the work that comes out of RISD illustration is so like dynamic and unique, and you can like really see individuals in it, even though like our department's so big.
Yeah. That's a nice point that I've seen too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess from a, I don't want to be like, I don't know if the word is rude, but like what I've observed, or one of my first things thinking about majors was like, which ones are going to be the most in demand in the future?
Mhm.
And if they're the most in demand, that might mean the less opportunities I'd have to like get those classes as an out of major.
Mhm.
So what I was told as a freshman was that like the big three at RISD are like illustration, graphic design, and like industrial design.
Mhm.
And so I was thinking if I picked one of those, then at least I'd know that I could take those courses and then branch out if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Then that being said, having a smaller department is not a bad thing because that means you'll get more attention onto you. I feel like with your
Yeah.
professors, and that's
yeah.
that's something I don't think happens a lot here. Although I do think teachers are very accommodating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you really have to like work and like stick your neck out to like cultivate relationships with your professors if you're interested in it because they like see so many faces a day
Yeah.
and so many faces in a year. I actually had like a brief little stint with myself freshman year of like I was like, do I want to be a furniture major?
Yeah.
And like a part of the reason I was, and this like wasn't that real, like I think I always knew that I wanted to be in illustration and that I belonged in illustration, but I was kind of on edge about not being able to take any classes in the smaller department because like there's such limited seats.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to get into those more niche majors
Yeah.
during the semester and even during winter session.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, yeah, there's just not that many spots. But
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you do what you want.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah. I do think teachers are very
Mhm.
accommodating here, which I was kind of surprised at. Like in every department, if you like, well,
yeah,
maybe I shouldn't generalize, but like when I've heard like stories of people who like really wanted a class and like showed
Yeah.
up first day, emailed like several months before the class even started, they were able to like get a good spot or get a good indication
Mhm.
if they were gonna get in.
Yeah, I think professors tend to be very open to that. I think
Yeah.
a lot of the times it ends up being like department coordinators or like whoever
Yeah.
kind of cap them off. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like we've seen like brown students get into RISD
Yeah.
classes all the time. Like there's actually a brown student in the Design Foundations studio I'm TAing for right now, which is
Ooh.
interesting. It's like a brown senior
Well, that's
who's
cool.
just taking this RISD Foundations class, and I'm like, all right, like
You do
you
it.
do you.
Yeah.
I mean, she got into a good section.
Yeah.
So,
That's,
hey,
yeah.
but,
She's
yeah.
getting her money's worth.
I hope she's enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting course selection, but I think
Yeah.
like on paper, like it does sound
Uh-huh.
like good. I mean, RISD Foundation is like,
Yeah. Well, it's known to be rigorous, which
yeah.
it is.
I mean, people have some choice words
Oh, yeah.
for RISD Foundations.
They do. They do. Tell me more about your summer camp.
RISD pre-college.
Adventures. Yeah, because I did pre-college.
Yes.
And like everyone who was like my, I don't know, RA, they always seem so old and wise.
So cool.
So cool
yeah.
and hip. And now I'm a junior and I'm like, oh,
I know,
maybe.
no. I was talking about this recently with someone.
Yeah.
So I like went a little ham in high school, and I did 3 pre-college programs in
Ooh.
3 consecutive years, which is like a little extra, I know, but like
But it's worth it. For you,
I-
for you, it was
yeah,
worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. I like was fortunate enough to be able to attend that many growing up, and
Yeah.
I'm like very thankful for it. So I started out doing VCU.
Mm-hmm.
Summer intensive, I think, is what they called when I was a rising sophomore, and then I did
Yeah.
RISD pre-college in 2014 as a rising junior, and then I did a MICA pre-college Tuscany program
Oh.
in 2015 when
Yeah.
I was a rising senior. So I definitely like have been around the block with that sort of thing, and I also TA'd last summer as a rising junior in college
Yeah.
for an illustration major, as well as 2 drawing foundation studios in RISD pre-college.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. My point is, like, I remember being a pre-college student, and I majored in illustration at RISD pre-college, and our TA was this like senior in illustration, and he did these like
Mhm.
really beautiful ink drawings. I think he still lives in Providence. His name was
Ooh.
Will.
Will.
I
Shout out to
heard-
Will.
Yeah, I heard he was working at the Athenaeum. If you're listening, Will, hello. But I thought he was so cool, as well as the RAs, of course. I was like, you're literally my god. Like, I want to be just like you when I grow up. And now I'm
My
like,
Jesus.
at this point in my life, I'm TAing again for RISD pre-college this coming summer, I think. And I'm like, oh, like, am I that person
Uh-huh.
to students now? Like, that's kind of weird, because I
Yeah.
don't even know what I'm going to eat for breakfast tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have anything together, and yet this is probably how like they were feeling when they were teaching us, and it's like
Yeah.
it's an interesting cycle. It's like
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
I'm like the same person, but my like my relationship to the people around me is like so different. Like yeah,
It changes.
yeah, it's yeah.
As your art changes, you get a bit more
Mhm.
wise, and of course, you know, you learn more techniques under your belt,
Yeah.
and then you can like do that.
And like it hasn't even like been that long, you know. Like it's been what, like 4 or 5 years.
That's scary.
And yeah, and I'm like, okay, I
No.
became like the mentor instead of the mentee, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's very rewarding
Mhm.
because I feel like I can empathize with them so much. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like every summer I'm like, I remember when I was in your shoes, and
Yeah.
I stayed up for 3 nights in a row, and I blacked out, and I couldn't see anything. So
Oh.
don't do that.
Oh, don't repeat my mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it's also
Mhm.
there's like interesting pressures and responsibilities. Like a lot of people know that I do hand poke tattoos part time.
Yeah.
I'm an aspiring tattooist, and I last summer I was talking about it a little bit to my pre-college students,
Uh-huh.
and
Did you get some offers?
well, for one, a lot of them were like, give me a tattoo, and I'm like, let me know when you're a RISD freshman in 2 years, because like I'm not
Uh-huh.
even allowed to give you a hug right now, or I will literally get fired.
Yeah.
How did you get into doing stick and pokes?
Oh, it's kind of a funny story. So I think I was like a senior in high school, and it was a Monday night, like the night before I was gonna take the ACT. I was like sitting on my loft in my PJs, and I was like, it'd be hilarious if I gave myself a tattoo right now. So I did the good old like sewing needle stuck into the back of a pencil, which I lit on fire, and then like wrapped twine around, and then I found this like India ink that I had from middle school, and I was like, this will be fine.
Yeah.
And I gave myself this rough, but admittedly, like it's pretty alright, like ankle tattoo.
Yeah.
It's tiny. It took me like 5 hours because I didn't know what I was doing at all.
Has
Yeah.
it faded or you still have it?
I can show you.
Ooh.
Sorry, podcast people, you can't see it, but it's this
Oh,
right
wow.
here. It's really not bad. It's not
Yeah,
that bad.
no. I like it.
It's like probably like 4 years old by now.
Yeah.
But that was the first one I did, and then I didn't do another one until probably like the end of freshman year at RISD when I did some matching tattoos for some friends and I kind of that like one thing led to another, and I had people like asking me about them.
Mm-hmm.
And it became this random thing, which became a hobby, which became my job, which became like everything that I want to do with my life ever.
Yeah.
Which I think is like how a lot of things tend to go.
Yeah. Start small and then you
Yeah.
spread out.
Yeah, you kind of like accidentally fall into these things that you enjoy. Like I think
Yeah.
a lot of people like come in thinking they want something, and then they like randomly take this class for like extra credits, and it like changes their life.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, my entire life course has been derailed, but like in kind of a beautiful, good way.
Yeah. Or you not to be cynical, but or you do the same thing. You like kind of experiment and do something random, and then you find something that you never ever want to do again. And you're like, ooh, I'm never doing this again in my life, which is also helpful.
Right. Or you pursue what you think you want to do, and then you realize you hate it, and then you're like, shit. And then you scramble to find something. But like, I think, I don't know, I believe everyone, almost everyone, will be just fine.
Yeah. Everyone learns in a different context way.
Like, I don't worry about putting food on the table, even if I have to be a barista for a few years. Like, I'm really not opposed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, although it does take a special kind of thick skin, I think.
Yeah.
What are the tools you use now for the tattoos? It's no longer like so.
Oh yeah. Good question. Everything I use now is industry standard.
Oh, good.
It's what people in shops use. I just like. Okay, I'm good. I am bloodborne pathogen certified, which is like the disease training that people need to go through before they get licensed. The only difference is that I don't have like a home space. Look, we can call it a private studio in terms of my own practice, but yeah. Hopefully when I graduate, I can either get an apprenticeship and or just start working. Like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I have more chops than the average Joe who tries to be a tattooist these days. So,
with only using a sewing needle and a heated candle and some India ink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're working up.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting. Like I feel very I guess honored that there's so many people who trust me with their like bodies and patches of skin, and they want my work. Like, it's very humbling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
I wonder if RISD would like have like a tattooing class.
People ask me about that. People are like, so did you take a class at school? I'm like,
not really.
Like, I don't know if that kind of thing exists anywhere, but like, let me know. Yeah.
I can see some complications.
Do people practice like on fruits?
Yeah, people do. I've never done that personally. I just like I practice on myself obviously at first, because I'd much rather screw something up on myself than on someone else, because I probably would never sleep at night if I did. But yeah, I've never tried. I've heard that it is like good practice, but I feel like it would feel different.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, Yeah.
I had a friend who did one on like a banana peel,
Mhm.
and it came out really well.
Yeah.
You should try it.
Yeah. I might.
If you have time, try it.
Yeah, I know people practice on like pigskins,
Ooh.
which
Mm.
probably is like more realistic, I guess. But like,
Yeah.
it's all kind of trial and error, and like I think all you can do is, if you fuck something up, you can offer to go over it again once you're better,
Yeah.
and that's kind of just how that stuff goes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Sounds like an exciting life.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
So scandalous.
Scandalous, doing tattoos.
Yeah, I'm such a bad boy.
Yeah. That boy.
Edit that out. Edit that out.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know what would you say have been your biggest takeaways from your classes so
From
far
RISD?
this year? Yeah.
Oh, just this year, or
Yeah.
like since coming to RISD?
Let's single it to just this year, or should I broaden it?
I mean,
Uh-oh.
everything kind of like blurs together for me, to be completely honest. I think,
Yeah.
like, I feel like RISD has. I'm sorry, I'm like not like really answering your question right now
No.
straightforwardly,
Yeah.
but I feel like the whole like RISD experience is this like transition on this spectrum of like, tends to be at least this transition of like showing up as this like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like super try-hard like kind of self-conscious but also like egotistical kid, and like a lot of people like come from being like the best in their class at their high schools,
yeah.
and then like
The artist.
it's this kind of like
Yeah.
process of like getting here and then like getting beaten down a little bit and then like finding your footing
Yeah.
and realizing what really matters and what really like doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like, you know, like paving your own path, and like I mean, easier said than done, but like
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of have to stop like worrying about like everyone else around you to an extent, and
Yeah.
like I feel like that is kind of like at least what my college experience has been like. And I mean, it's
Mhm.
a process. Like, I'm obviously like I don't have that much figured out yet, but
Yeah. No,
yeah,
it's okay.
yeah. Like I think like this year,
Mm-hmm.
at least like very recently, I've been talking at least like to my therapist and friends about
Yeah.
like trying, like allowing yourself to like let go of things and choosing your own battles and knowing like how much to take on and how much you're able to take on.
Yeah. That's a big thing at our
it's
school.
such a juggle. It's such a struggle because RISD is, for one, like not like any other college ever. Like it's ridiculous and everyone's drowning all the time, and doing that while like maintaining relationships and maintaining like part-time jobs
Yeah.
at the same time, like it's
It's a special.
it's really tricky.
Yeah.
It's really tricky, and I feel like that
Yeah.
aspect of it all is like really hard, but also like
Yeah.
very important to like developing and like being able to like stand on your own feet and get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multitasking for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
It's a helpful skill.
Yeah. But these days I just try not to like worry too much and try not to like put too many eggs in one basket. Like
Yeah.
one bad painting or one iffy crit is like not gonna ruin your life. Like
Yeah.
I also think like this year I've heard a lot of people like stressing about like summer stuff. Like we need to get an internship, or like I need to like find work over the summer to like fill my resume so I can be successful after I graduate. And there's like so much pressure and everyone's kind of like low-key comparing themselves to everyone else around them.
Yeah.
But like honestly, at the end of the day, I'm at the point where I'm like, this is the last summer vacation of my entire life. Like I'm gonna spend it doing what I want to do.
That's yeah.
And like we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, will a job help you? Probably yes.
Uh-huh.
Will you like it? Maybe, maybe not. Like
Probably
yeah.
not. But
Like, will it be unhelpful? Like, also maybe it won't
Maybe.
be helpful. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like that's the thing. Like, there's no formula, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it is just like, where do you find like the confidence in yourself and like your own work and your own path to like
Ooh.
feel okay with what you're doing and feel okay with how you're doing, and like if you need to change that, like how do you make those changes? Like,
Yeah.
that's all very like vague and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like almost
Yeah.
like kind of spiritual, but
Yeah. Becky the therapist.
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah. I think that's what is important when it
Mhm.
comes down to it.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. I don't
Thanks,
really.
Brett.
You're welcome. I don't really know what I would have said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see you perform at the drag show.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
same.
yeah. So I performed in the drag show a year ago.
I didn't
Yeah.
go to
This
that
year.
one.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't see
There's a
you.
video somewhere, and
Oh.
this year I did this spoken word piece about. It was so. My drag name is Rosewood, and she's basically a femme fatale. And
Ooh.
last year I did this spoken word piece that was like, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
this long-winded seduction, and then like push you into the canal at the end because I wasn't interested anyways, and like fuck you because I'm better than
Ooh.
you.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was pretty,
Ooh.
it was really fun. I had a lot
Mhm.
of fun with it. And this year I was gonna do this other piece that I started writing, but at the end of the day, I like couldn't get my ducks in a row in time, and I dropped out of it like a week before. And that
Mm-hmm.
is actually pretty pertinent to what I was saying earlier, because like, not to make this like a deeper thing than it is, but I was like struggling with a lot of guilt with
Mhm.
like not following through and not like coming through with like what I said I was going to and what I signed up for.
Yeah.
And I was like so like beating myself up over it, but it was one of those things where I was like, you know what, like this is stressing me out more than I'm excited for it at this point. Like
Mhm.
I didn't know that I like didn't have the means to like take this on and handle it right now, and like that's okay, and sometimes you have to like step back,
Yeah.
and that's like the healthy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
However, next year I will be performing. I will be there. I'm gonna start writing like tonight. I'm not, but like but soon. I'm
Yeah.
gonna like have it done like over the summer, so hopefully
Mm-hmm.
it'll happen.
Yeah.
I showed up in drag to support last night.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
Yeah. I didn't recognize you.
Yeah,
TBH.
yeah.
I saw you.
I actually saw you guys like in 15 West, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep walking. And then I saw you again in the auditorium, and I was like, hey, Brendan.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's that person who I thought was another student, but is Becky in drag.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun.
Fun surprises. Yeah.
Yeah. It was great though. It was
Yeah.
a great show. Thanks, Molly, if you're
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
For
We love you.
coordinating.
We love you, Molly.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you want to give a message to future Molly?
Future Molly.
Future Molly, I love you
Aw.
very much.
Oh.
Thanks.
That deserved an applause. Yeah. I'm always really bad at this. Oh, when we interviewed Molly, she talked about how like being in a relationship like kind of impacted her art.
Yeah.
Like her way.
I didn't
Yeah.
listen to it.
Oh no, it's okay.
It's not out yet. I haven't
Oh,
put it
oh,
out
oh,
yet.
oh.
I
okay.
heard about it though. I kind of heard about it through her a little bit.
Yeah, I want to get from your end, your perspective. How does being in a relationship impact like
Mm-hmm.
your like art making process, or like how you view?
Or how you handle it.
Yeah.
At school.
Because
Yeah.
like when I've listened to past podcasts about art and illustration, there's like sometimes they have couples on
Mm-hmm.
that talk about like their art and they work together, and I always find that really stressful.
Yeah.
Having like your lover be like looking over your shoulder maybe and being like, I don't like that composition. I don't know if that actually happens.
Like if you're doing a project together.
Yeah, or like you are a team.
Yeah.
Like literally, like your marriage, not you specifically, but like your
yeah.
your relationship literally is like your your art making
Oh, it's a
thing
part of
it's
Yeah.
like when your like career and your personal life
are together.
collide.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's scary. Maybe
So
not.
I kind of like heard a synopsis from Molly about what she was talking about.
Mhm.
It's kind of a funny story, like how we got together, because I remember probably like 2 days before we, I guess, like became an item foundation year. Some background, we got together like
Mhm.
September 27th of foundation year, so it was
Oh.
literally like 3 weeks into RISD. And I remember like a few days before
Jesus.
yeah, I know. I remember a few days before it happened, I was talking to my friend Julie Ben Bassett about how
Julie!
Hi Julie, if you're listening.
We love you, Julie.
I love you. But I remember talking to Julie outside. We were sitting by that fountain between Benson Hall and that weird, like, fancy bougie brown, like, dinner place.
Oh, yeah, that one.
we were talking there, and I was like, I don't understand how people here are in relationships. Like, I don't even have time to, like, brush my teeth in the morning. That's just, like, ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
I cannot see myself entering a serious relationship until, like, after college, to be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, 2 days later, I was like, okay, like, fuck it. Like, yeah.
Fuck it.
I was like, we held hands once, so now we're married.
Yeah.
And now it's been, like, 2.5 years, and we've both grown a lot, I think.
Mhm.
I think we, like, really have figured it out a lot over the years. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like it was easy in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's, like...
Especially
like,
freshman year.
Yeah, there's,
Jesus.
like, a lot of pressure, just, like, time management for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, getting to know each other, and, like, it is weird. So we got actually split into the same section 4 times in a row. We were in the same section first semester foundation year and second semester foundation year and first semester sophomore year in illustration.
Oh, yeah.
And second semester sophomore year, have I been saying that all right? Second semester of sophomore year, we were in a concepts class together as well.
Oh.
So we spent
I was in that class.
yeah, we spent a lot of time in very close quarters, having the exact same professors, critting each other, working on the exact same homework assignments,
Yeah.
which is, like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, there's a weird sort of sense of, like, competition and jealousy that can happen because, like, you are so close, you're doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you're in this, like, academic environment together, and, like, people are judging you together, and people are also judging you as a couple, I remember.
Oh.
Yeah. She's just walking in.
Well,
But I remember, like, when we first got together, like, there were some people who were like, are you sure you want to date in your section? Like, isn't that kind of messy? Like, and then I remember people being like, oh, like, are you, like, sure you aren't, like, taking things too fast? Like, are you not being, like, overcommitted? Like, we got kind of some backlash from our section mates a little bit. Yes, she's in the room now. She's
If
raising
you're
her
gonna
hand.
fail fast, okay? We fell in love. It worked out. It's fine.
Yeah. So, like,
yeah.
I will say, like, there were a lot of obstacles, but at the same time, like, it is a lot less lonely.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, it is really powerful and special to have, like, a support system who is, like, very close to you, and, like, it's, like, I remember talking, so, like, we haven't been in the same class for, like, the past, like, semester and a half,
Mm-hmm.
which is, like, also nice. It's, like, I think a lot of, like, the pressure and, like, almost, like,
Yeah.
I guess I can say, like, it became hard after a while when, like, most of our time spent together was in class and not, like, quality time alone,
Yeah.
like, as a relationship, which, like, is very straining and is very hard.
Yeah.
My train of thought just got so derailed.
Don't worry.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess, yeah, I don't know. There are, like, unique challenges that come with it.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of perks that come with it.
Yeah. Support.
Yeah, and I think, like, we became like very like empathetic very fast because like our experiences were so similar.
Yeah.
Which also made our struggles. It almost like made our struggles harder as well in some aspects, but
Yeah.
I keep remembering something important that I was gonna say, and then it keeps leaving me as I keep listening to myself talk. But
You'll remember eventually.
I'll remember eventually,
Yeah.
and then you can edit it in.
Yeah. Can bring it back in. Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
Hmm.
There are pros and cons. It was like a lot at times, I think.
Yeah, I feel that. But I also feel like you have like, I don't know, this kind of like special leg up to other couples who are like artists together because you've already done that in college. So
That's
you
what I was going to talk about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Thank you, Brendan.
You're
So
welcome.
we actually we have like worked on projects together as a pair. Like we made these like instruments together freshman year, which was like this big woodworking assignment.
Mhm.
And we worked on this like stop motion animation together, and we are looking to do a collaborative study project together in the next semester or
Mhm.
so. And I think like these kind of experiences do like
Mm-hmm.
bring you together, I feel like, in a very unique way, because I don't like couples who like don't work together.
Yeah.
They like have their space, but they also like I guess I'm like thankful that we have had like opportunities and experiences to like get to know like that side of each other, because it is
Yeah.
like totally different than like just like having like
Yeah.
like an I don't know, like an intimate like relationship.
Do you think
Yes.
Oh.
Prediction:
Yeah.
in 10 to 15 years, all of our work will be collaborative. We'll make nothing of our own.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe so.
It's a prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you have like, I don't know. I feel like you kind of know how to manage your
Mhm.
relationship better because you know your working selves now. Whereas
Yeah.
couples who work separately, like maybe in like other majors, like
Mhm.
this is gonna generalize, so y'all can get at me this later. But let's say you have someone who's like working in a hospital, who's like married to someone who's like an accountant, and they have very different timetables that they have to manage themselves, but
Mhm.
they don't know each other in that capacity. They only know each other like at home, in the bedroom, out of the bedroom, making sandwiches in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
Whereas you guys, you know your working selves, so you really have like more of a
Right.
holistic
Yeah.
idea of how you work,
Yeah,
which I think is interesting and also
Yeah,
helpful.
that's a very good point. I think like what I've kind of been trying to get at this entire time is that like there have been challenges we've faced that are very unique to this situation that have been like hard to get through, but once we kind of like are able to sort out the kinks and get to like learn how to like handle
Yeah.
different types of situations, like we come out stronger and like we come out
Yeah.
knowing each other better and closer, and I think that's like very valuable. And I feel like we're kind of like at a point now. I mean, we've been together literally like 24/7 for like 2 years straight, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't like really feel the like pressures and insecurities that I used to. That I think we're mostly surrounding being colleagues as
Yeah.
well as I guess dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like at the end of the day, I don't think I'd have it any other way, because
Mm-hmm.
because it like ended up so well,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of that is due to like how compatible we are as just human beings.
Yeah.
Um,
Humans with emotions.
yeah, and I think that with any relationship, it's like there are struggles and like it's hard, but like if you can work it out,
Yeah.
it's like so good and so worth it, and like
Mm-hmm.
my life would be so like not the same
Yeah.
if it wasn't.
Mhm.
what it is.
Yeah. That's very helpful and insightful.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to check the time here because
Mhm.
I don't know how far we are in this. I haven't been.
46.
Jesus Christ! It's only 46 minutes.
Well,
Okay.
It's a good
Wow,
time.
you're so bored, Brenda.
No, I'm not bored.
No, I'm kidding.
I was just like, that was so much information. It's probably like an hour and 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
46 minutes. Well,
Mhm.
okay. Trying to like pan out topics
Yeah.
to like fire at you if you
Yeah.
want to keep talking.
No, I would love to. No, I feel like I was like kind of like long-winded with that last one, but it was my wheels turning.
Yeah, your wheels were turning and we were all
Yeah.
listening. Ooh, how do you, as like an artist for, do you think of yourself as like going to be like an artist for hire, or do you think of yourself as being like in-house doing something, possibly?
So at the moment, I would like to be working as a tattooist in a shop. I would
Mhm.
not be mad if I was freelancing on the side with my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would also not be mad to have 1 or 2 part-time jobs on the side because
Mm-hmm.
my life as it is today, I work like 4.5 part-time jobs outside of RISD,
Yeah.
and it is a lot, but I actually really enjoy it. Like, I feel like it really keeps me grounded
Yeah.
in ways that I wouldn't be if I was just sleeping, eating,
Mm-hmm.
and doing studio work. Like,
Yeah.
I think I was like kind of doing that freshman year, which granted in freshman year it's really hard to hold a job down because
Yeah.
freshman year is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for one, like I try not to have like too many expectations that are specific like that for my future.
Yeah.
But yeah, in an ideal world, I would love to be a tattooist doing like custom work and like flash work.
Yeah.
I don't think I will have a problem keeping myself alive
Yeah.
at the base of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely like do not want to stop making traditional work ever. Like
Yeah.
most of the work I do here, I think tends to be like oil paintings and like very traditional. Like
Uh-huh.
lately, I keep getting critiques that my work is kind of like vintagey and retro
Ooh.
a little bit, which
Yeah.
I find kind of interesting. And I'm
Yeah.
really not mad about that, but I definitely see where they're coming from because
Yeah.
I don't know. Like recently I've kind of been trying to stray away from like digital work
Yeah.
because I feel like I used to like almost like rely too heavily on how accessible and fast it can be, and like my work ended up like taking a toll with that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like kind of going on a tangent now.
No,
But
yeah. The
Yeah.
computer is definitely something to consider as like an
yeah.
artist in general and an
Mhm.
illustrator.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, I just like would love to just keep doing what I'm interested in, and I'm trying to stay open to that shifting. But
yeah.
I just think I really want to be a tattooist because I feel like it is like the perfect blend of like obviously my interest as well as like a 9-to-5 and freelancing almost.
Ooh,
Getting back to
yeah.
kind of what you're saying,
Yeah.
because like doing custom work, it is kind of it is freelancing basically, like doing custom work for a private client.
Yeah.
But like you also have hours and you also have
Mhm.
like a space, and like you have like a more like set pay. Like
Mhm.
it's not. I'm like really afraid of like contracts and stuff right now
Yeah.
as it stands, and I feel like that stuff is more like spelled out. I mean, a lot of stuff in the tattoo industry is like not set in stone.
Yeah.
Granted, but
Yeah.
yeah, it just seems like a good kind of like medley of me being my own artist, but also
Mhm.
not so open and like floating in the void as like being a full-time freelancer, because that also scares me.
Yeah.
Like I want a little bit of stability, but I also want my freedom.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like in this like limbo of being really turned off of big corporations, but also really scared of being alone on my own. I
Yeah.
should say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like a fear of a lot of people that I've talked to here.
Yeah. Like being out by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think having like more work that's like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I feel more comfortable with the idea of work after like having an internship.
Yeah.
I think it's helped. Granted, one thing I did find that was interesting is that you can always do an internship after you graduate that summer. I mean, some people might not want to, but that might actually be a good time for a lot of people because you don't have to worry about the school year because it's over. Granted, if it's unpaid, that really sucks.
Yeah.
Because then it's like you really don't have any benefit coming from it other than just experience, which can be like.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I also have like heard and seen that like a lot of the really in demand internships like only look at people who are graduated seniors.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is like
Yeah.
that is like kind of a lot. Like that's very stressful. And it also low-key it also like validates me in not hunting for an internship that hard this summer because I'm like not that I even like really want those internships that bad, but I'm kind of like
you have your life to live.
Yeah, I'm like I'm young. I'm literally 20. Like
yeah.
And like it is I don't know, like I do feel like a privilege of being able to like even say that at all, like being able to like not do anything and just kind of like chill even though like I am working over the summer. It's not like anything too big. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Those are some nice thoughts. I hadn't thought about that for like internships in terms of like this being your last summer before you kind of have to like get all of your things together or to like actually start looking and pursuing things a bit more seriously.
Right.
Although I don't know. I've heard a lot of things. I've heard people who like take off an entire year after school and just do that to just travel and do what they want. Although I would say
like
that
if you can.
I would say those types of people are probably people who are in a quote normal job unquote. Although it's very like case by case. Yeah. Not that art can't be normal. Right. But
yeah, I'm always like really afraid of the summer because there's like a very fine line of like doing too much and being miserable and also like doing too little and also being miserable, at least personally. Like,
how do you gauge that?
Like last summer, in the beginning of the summer, I had a pretty decent summer all around, but I started out working way too hard. I was working like over 100 hours a week.
Oh my god.
Doing like 3 or 4 different jobs at once.
Yeah.
I like really, I have like regrets, but it was also okay. But then and this is like me every summer, I go home. If I go home for more than like 2 weeks without having any plans or anything like stable, I really need structure. You know, like if I don't have anything I have to be doing, I am like so depressed and all I do is like lay in my bed all day and watch The Office for the 14th time in a row and like feel bad about myself. And it's like, that's also a reason why I'm afraid of being a like private contractor or freelancer because I'm like, I don't know if I can handle myself. Like, I don't know if I trust myself to like just do my own thing because when it comes to like summer vacation, it sounds very romantic to be like, I'm just going to work on myself. Like, I'm just going to take some time off and live my life and just be and build my portfolio. Like, we all say that, but like, do you really do that when you're just on your own, like at home? Like, I don't know.
I feel like summer is like in that way. It's like a true quote unquote true measure of like how you schedule yourself. Maybe a good time to see like what tendencies you have, or, like how you use a day. I don't know. I've like thought about, this is bad, but I've like thought about like waking up at like 5 a.m. To like be more productive. Then I'm always like, if I want to do that, I have to go to bed at 9. And that's really hard because I think in a lot of ways Rizzy has taught me, like, no, you're not supposed to go to bed at 9. You're supposed to stay up until the work is done. And that's not necessarily the best thing.
I'm over that. I'm so over that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've aged so much since I was 18.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely, it's very jarring to go from Rizzy to nothing, because Rizzy is like so regimented, and like sometimes it feels like every like second of every day counts, because like there's like just so much to do, and it's so jam-packed, and like everyone has like all these commitments everywhere, and it's like so chaotic. And then like you get out of it, and then you let yourself rest, but then like you can't let yourself rest for too long, otherwise you just become a vegetable, and it's like hard to like break that.
Yeah.
Like it's like where do I find my work ethic when I don't have like 10 deadlines and like an old man yelling at me every week? Like not directed at anyone in particular, but like
I'm sure he'd appreciate your our enthusiasm.
No, but like in a way, like I miss it over the summer, because I almost like need it, because I've been like so like trained to work like this, and that's a part of the reason why I'm so scared of graduating and freelancing on my own, because I'm like, can I hold myself to that standard when it's just me? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like such a shift.
I was like really missing kind of how busy it was.
Yeah,
like in December.
Yeah,
when I went home, like suddenly everything stopped, and I was like,
right.
It like stressed me out that nothing was happening.
Yeah, it is, and I'm like, is this like Stockholm syndrome like that I'm experiencing? Yeah. But like, no, it's true, because it is like so much harder, and like it is a like bitter pill to swallow when you like aren't being productive, when you're so used to like churning all these like things out, and it's like. Yeah, like you do need a break, and you do need to like learn how to like relax and play and not like always be on. But like that kind of a balance, like I definitely haven't figured that out yet. Yeah. And I don't think it's really gonna happen for me until I graduate and until I know what it's like to like
live.
Yeah, and until I know what it's like to not have like this light at the end of the tunnel that is like you're gonna go back here and people are gonna start telling you like what to do again.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. In a way, yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Summer is very scary.
Yeah. Scary for us.
Yeah.
It's but like, for other people, it seems like it's like party!
Yeah.
Like, and then you die back at school. Which
I feel like there's like this aspect of Rizzy that's like so toxic, in that like you do learn that it's like not okay to do nothing. Yeah. And like that's bullshit. But then it's also like how do I deal with my emotions when I don't do anything and I do feel guilty about it? Like no one ever tells you what to do when like you're feeling like that. Yeah. And that's just like what we all have to figure out, I guess. Like there's no manual.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure the best artists out there have like some sort of book on like how to regiment themselves, but I don't know.
I mean, I think it's so like individual, like I mean, I see some professors like
redacted
work like a dog outside of class, and I'm like, I don't think that I could be happy like that. Like, I don't think I could be fulfilled taking these like 10-hour giant jobs while I'm also like doing all this other stuff and also having a life. Like, like at a certain point, I'm like, I came here with the intention to like try to be the best of the best and try to work as hard as I can and try to like blow everyone away and like do the most. But it's like if I'm not happy doing that all the time, what's the point? So it's kind of like, I was talking to another friend about this recently. It's like, when do we allow ourselves to be average and like be mediocre for our own health and happiness? And like, we can also like be okay if we're not the best. Like that's kind of like what this whole thing is too.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Hard.
And it's like, and the thing is, like, you probably will be okay if you're not, and you like can have a good life, and like you can like fall in love and have fun and like be happy and have a house and have food on the table if you're not like the industry gold star and like
whatever field you're working in.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's kind of like
high five tamale in the background. Yeah.
I think my work has gotten better since I stopped caring so much about being good.
Yeah.
It's gotten like way, way, way better.
Yeah. Because like once you like remove that pressure from yourself, you're like, okay, so like what do I really want to be doing right now? Like what do I really want to be making right now?
Valley, drinking tea.
Yeah, and it's like as at a certain point, it's like if this ever like becomes too much for me, I am gonna try to not like feel shame and like taking some minimum wage jobs for a minute and like just chilling out for a second and recharging my battery. Like that's like totally valid and acceptable, but people kind of act like it's not, and I think that's like what is so like hurtful about like the culture here.
Yeah.
Because like people like it's almost like
I agree.
everyone says like, oh, like I hope I don't end up just being a barista when I graduate, but then it's like, is that really the worst fate that you can think of?
Yeah. If
Like-
that's your worst fate, that's a pretty good.
Yeah,
worst.
and like we have our whole lives ahead of us, you know. Like I think like it's so important to like take a step back sometimes and be like, this piece I'm making, it is not my actual lifeblood, even though it might feel like it.
Yeah.
Like I think people like view things at such a macro scale because everything's like so close and fast and like stressful and like everything hurts and you're tired and like, but then like if you look back on your experience like a year later, like you don't really remember like that one project that you totally biffed that well unless it was like very traumatic for you. But like I think a lot of the things we stress so hard about, like are they as pertinent as you think they are?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
I don't know.
Yeah. But we all get through them in our own ways.
Yeah.
Oops,
We're
and
here to
then-
learn.
Yeah. Here to learn how to be good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Becky,
Thank
for
you,
this wonderful
Brendan.
talk. I'm not saying that now because, yeah, it just seems like a good place to.
Yeah.
end
Thank
it.
you for having me on.
You're welcome. It's always a pleasure.
Finally.
Since like the beginning, you've been like, I want to be on here.
I was like, let me talk about how I want to sell pictures of my feet.
Yeah.
Why didn't we talk about that?
What?
I'm like,
This is
let me
awesome.
talk about how I got my start as a furry on DeviantArt.
Oh, well, you can talk about
Yeah,
that.
we should talk about that. If you have
Lost all
time.
credibility. Let's talk before.
The truth comes out.
How did
Yeah.
you start out as a furry?
I started out, well, I got into art seriously, I say, as a landmark when I was 12 years old, and I asked my dad for a drawing tablet because I got really addicted to watching Warrior Cat speed paints on YouTube, and I was like, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
I want to draw cats on MS Paint and cell shade them and honor Cinderpelt's death. Spoiler alert for people who just started reading Warrior Cats. But I got this tablet when I was 12, and I was so obsessed with making like personas and like warrior cat art and just animal art in general because I love animals more than people for the most part.
Yeah.
Except for you, Molly. She just got sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started posting all my stuff on DeviantArt, and I got kind of a following, I would say. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but if you go on DeviantArt and you search up free wolf line art, mine is the first hit. So suck it, everyone else.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
sorry,
no.
That's bigger than Society of Illustrators.
yeah, literally it is. I still get
Jesus.
15 favorites a day. So like,
Oh, Jesus.
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made some friends. I just kind of fell into the furry community because I was drawing animals, obviously.
Mhm.
But I made some friends. I actually got some commissions from people who, admittedly,
Mhm.
it was they were commissions for 30 cents US dollars, but I was 13 and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
people want to give me their legal tender for my art. That's ridiculous to me. And
Yeah.
it was a very wholesome community, I'm not gonna lie. Everyone is so supportive and nice to me, and
Mhm.
it was really fun. It was very interactive. I met my first girlfriend on DeviantArt.
Oh. Was she a persona? Or
She- Yeah, I would draw our personas together. Like we would go on
Oh.
Skype together. Molly's so upset. I'm gonna make Molly persona after this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was actually like a very good supportive environment to grow up in, and like yes, all the work I used to make was animals. Yes, my high school art teacher called me out on it. Yes, I'm mad at her to this day for that because it was valid and I don't even care anymore. But like, yeah, I think it's I think it's like kind of like a funny narrative because like there's so much like stigma around furries, and like at this point, like haters gonna hate, I'm gonna like laugh it off, but like I fully support the furry community.
Yeah.
I love everyone in it almost.
But like furries aren't a joke anymore. Like I was recently watching this TV show called The Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And they mentioned furries in there, and I'm like, well, now we know. If Hollywood's like mentioning them, like we gotta take them like
like that's the thing. Like there's so much stigma around them because around us because
the artists.
Like it.
We're like it's not real art, and it's like you can make so much money doing furry art that's good. So do it.
I think because people like see it as like this fetishized thing where everyone's nasty and like living in their parents' basement and they're like weird and creepy and it's like all like a sex thing, but that is like so not what it is. Like I think that is like maybe like 0.5% of like the people who actually like enjoy it and partake in it, and like I like it's like fun and nice and people are friendly and like not judgmental and like I don't know. I have such a soft spot for every fursona and sparkle dog that exists out there. Because like that is truly like what I attribute that's truly what I attribute like my current like career to be completely honest. Like that's what like really inspired me at first and like got me going and got me like trying. Like I put so many hours into like drawing these like beautiful foxes in these meadows, and like it was good. Like I did good, and here I am. And my DeviantArt handle is @Espherio. That's ESPHERIO. I'm not that active anymore.
But shoot him up.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I started like posting my more like academic work on DeviantArt, like no response, like 0 favorites, 0 comments, but like hey, that's okay. I recognize that people followed me for a reason, and that reason was not to see my like charcoal figure drawings from foundation year, and I'm like same, honestly. Like I would also rather see a new persona, so like I get it.
Do it.
But I think like there's a very common narrative in Rizzy illustration that like people got their start drawing anime, and that's like super like like people like joke about that and are like embarrassed by that stuff, but like honestly like live it up. Like we started where we started and we got to where we are, and now we're all super awesome and amazing, and we were super awesome and amazing when we were kids drawing anime and puppy dogs and like fuck it, right?
What would Molly's persona be?
Molly's persona, well, here's the thing. Molly really likes pigeons, but
are pigeons not popular?
We can make it a quadruped.
Yeah, but I think like Molly would also be a good as like maybe like a fluffy cat who likes laying in like sunspots.
I give my input.
Yeah.
Combination fox cat.
Yeah.
Because that's allowed with pigeon wings.
That's cool.
That's cool as fuck.
I'm gonna make that.
No.
You hang out with me and draw that after this podcast.
Yeah. My current persona is a red panda with antlers, but I was thinking about making a new one that's like a naked sphinx cat. I've been saying that for years and I haven't done it, but like maybe I'll do it now that this is publicized. Like,
would you go as far to do like the dressing up part of like the furry
fursuits?
Yeah,
If I had $500 to spend on a fursuit, I would get one.
Hard no.
I think okay, like so my ex-girlfriend actually like used to make them, which I thought was really cool. And I
Oh.
was like, why don't you make
She
me
didn't
one?
give you one?
I know. What the heck, Ashley? If you're listening, where's my fursuit? Just kidding. We're on good terms now.
No.
But yeah, I was like interested in them. I was very intrigued. I just never had the time or money or materials to like try. But like I think it's cool. It looks like it's hot as hell in there, but like I don't know. I always wanted a tail.
I did too.
Yeah.
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 Live it up.
I would love to have a tail.
How are you going to sell your feet pics?
Like, let me know. Let me know, listeners of Cock Talk, if you know where I can sell pictures of my feet, because I'd love to.
Well, with that money, you could get a fursuit.
Honestly, that's a fair trade.
You could though.
Yeah.
If I could get a fursuit in exchange for like 100 photos of my feet, like, I would do it in an instant.
Do it.
That's the only context in which I support the fursuit thing.
Well,
I
that's
actively want you to sell your feet. I think they're cute. I think you can make money.
I think I could make great money selling pictures of my feet. I'm Asian.
Hey,
Do people? I don't know if that's a selling point.
I don't think there's like.
Because I think it's most. I feel like it's
wants like pictures of your like little Asian feet.
I have a hunch that it's mostly heterosexual men seeking pictures of female feet, but
Did you know lesbians only exist for men? Ooh, that's touchy.
Oh.
Kidding. Oh
Oh.
Wow.
no. We're tired out of here. Oh, no.
Yeah.
But
that could be
yeah,
the new form of currency. Just feet.
feet pics,
pics?
feet
Yeah.
pics, feet pics, and dirty socks.
Oh wow. Oh. But you got to keep like the background of your photographs pretty and like tidy,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Unless
yeah,
you want it
yeah,
to be like
yeah. No, I'd vacuum beforehand.
yeah.
Like
put in effort. To
I would like
photographs,
set
yeah.
up like a ring light.
If someone's gonna buy this, give them a quality image. For them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Appreciate.
No, I'd send them like all the angles, all the good angles at least. I do have this weird thing where like my pinky toenails are like split down the middle. And I always thought that it was from a snowboarding accident that I had when I was a kid, but then I brought it up to my parents and my mom was like, "Oh no, it's cuz you're Chinese." And
What?
like I have not confirmed this.
Oh.
I don't know how like accurate this
Well,
is, but like
are their toenails like the same?
yeah, my mom is like, "Oh, it's a mainland China thing to have a split pinky toenail." And I'm like, "I'm not convinced yet. Show me the receipts." But like maybe
Are their
she's
toenails
right.
like that?
Yeah, I think my mom does have a split toenail. I think my sister also does.
Oh.
However, I asked some of my other Chinese friends and they say that they don't. So I don't know.
Take what you will from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take what you will from that. If you're Chinese and have a split toenail, email me at beckyshoe@gmail.com. Let me know. Because I'm curious.
Yeah.
You don't have to send me a picture.
Yeah. Well,
Is that a good point to wrap up?
that's a great point to wrap up. Well, thank you for
Thank you.
for being here. We appreciate. Well, I appreciate your time. I don't know if that sounds weird.
No, I
No.
appreciate yours.
Thank you. This was really fun.
Thank you for being a great host.
Thank you. You're welcome. Natalie also hosted as well.
Yeah,
and
thank
she's
you.
I'm just here.
yeah. But you're gonna do a lot of the work that I'm glad you're enjoying because I would not fully enjoy doing it either. But
Is
yeah.
this? Are you guys still on SoundCloud? Or did you move?
We are going to keep updating SoundCloud, but we're gonna let the older videos like get deleted because there's a data limit.
Yeah.
So for those of you, our hardcore fans who want to keep listening to us, we have a YouTube channel now where we're gonna have like an archive of all of our stuff.
Ooh.
What's it called? I forget.
It's just Cock Talk.
Just Cock Talk.
I think it's like Cock Talk Artist Choice picture of the rooster.
Okay.
Easy to find.
Yeah. It's not. There's several other Cock Talks out there. Don't look at the one.
This is the best one.
This is the best version of Cock Talk. It has a picture of a rooster on it. That's us. Okay.
Yay.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
Thank you.